Hello to everyone. Well, I think I'm live, so I'm just going to start the broadcast because I've noticed that sometimes if I wait and I do the whole look around, then it's like awkward staring, sitting, clicking. Welcome. Thanks for joining me this morning for the impromptu pajama party. And in case you're wondering, yes, I am wearing like a little white shirt because that's as close to pajamas as I'm going to get. But also, I'm wearing sweatpants. Ready? See? Very pajama-y. This is kind of my version of casual pajamas. So wherever you're at, let me know in the comments. I am streaming live with StreamYard, which is an application that allows me to go both live in the Facebook group and on YouTube for those of you who are not using Facebook. But the thing about that is that you have to give it permission to see your name so that when you write a comment, it doesn't just say anonymous user. And if you don't feel like doing that, that's okay. Just if you could write your comment and then like stick your name on the end, like Julia or, whatever it is. So that will help me because this is a live interaction. This is impromptu. This is in the morning. I'm not a morning person. I don't know if you know that, but I'm not. So I wanted to give you a quick overview. Hi, Leanne. Good morning. Well, Leanne, I know, is on the East Coast. So for her, it's 11:30, which is a lot better than for me here in Mountain Time in Arizona. It's 9:30 right now, but I did get up a couple hours earlier to set up because I have quite a setup going. I wish it was easy to show you. Well, I might be able to do it without creating a disaster. So I have like a little table here with all kinds of skincare and things ready to go. And then the other things I can't easily show. Oh, well, look at me. I'm so smart. I put all kinds of stuff on a tray because we're going to talk about the coffee I make if you want. We don't have to. And then I've got a tea kettle here for some warm water. It's kind of heavy. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to just dive right in. And I wanted to, give you a heads up. Thanks for coming, by the way. Good morning, Catherine. Nice to see you. I see Leanne and Catherine are both on YouTube, so that's very rad. Is anyone here in the Facebook group? Curious about that. So I'm going to talk about what I actually do for my puffy eyes in the morning. And I also want to give you a really good, juicy look at what's coming for 2023, which, funny enough, involves what to do for your puffy eyes, dry skin, how to clear out your lymph. I mean, I think at this age, if you're over 40, you have had at least one friend, if not yourself, who's gone through a breast cancer journey or some sort of cancer journey. And for some reason, it's not until there's a diagnosis and there's a crisis that all of a sudden people start researching what they could be doing to better support their health. And unfortunately, I find a lot of doctors don't say anything until after the fact. And so one of the things is that if you are doing daily care of your skin in a great way that incorporates more holistic health, you are actually supporting the longevity and the vitality of your entire body system. And this is why the Oasis, which is my membership for people over 40, but even if you're not over 40, we don't card at the door, is so valuable because it's not about that kind of anti-aging, you need to look like a Barbie mentality that's out there in the beauty world. It's rooted in holistic, healthy, green, eco-conscious, minimal consumerism beauty, which frankly isn't sexy to a lot of people. It's not like splashy and blingy, but this is what I find the majority of the people that I work with are interested in. They want daily, everyday, sustainable things they can do that support feeling and looking radiant, feeling beautiful and confident, but not having it be about like, oh my God, I'm so pretty. Like, oh, I do not even want to spend 2 hours putting my makeup on every day. And if you do, that's great. I was a makeup artist for a decade, traveling the world, Milan, New York, Paris, all the fashion weeks, celebrities, right? I love makeup. Like, that's a thing. But the Oasis isn't just about makeup. It's not just about putting you into a box of this is how beauty needs to look. It definitely doesn't need to look like light skin, blue eyes, blonde hair, whatever I look like. I have experience working on people globally of every age, and that is how I teach. I am a top educator in my field. Not every beauty person, cosmetics expert, makeup artist is an educator. So, okay, here we go. let's talk about puffy eyes. And I'm going to take a sip of my, what I call Kristen's Cafe, because it's like a meal in a cup. All right. And read some of these comments. Yvonne is one of our newest Healthy Beauty Oasis members. Hi, nice to see you. We're almost like twins. I'm wearing gray sweatpants and a black top. Yvonne! Wonderful. Okay, so to start out with the puffy eye thing, and by the way, if you have comments and questions as we're going along, I will definitely answer them if possible during this live stream, if it's related to this topic. If you're going to ask me about like, why do koala bears climb trees? I can't answer that question. But somebody here might be able to. And yeah, if you haven't given StreamYard permission to use your name, which is the application I'm using, I can't see who you are. So right now, Facebook user has said good morning, and I'm saying good morning back to you, Facebook user. Okay, so first things first. If you get up in the morning and you have puffy eyes, like I often do, there's a few things to consider around that. Puffy eyes, a lot of times for people, can be chronic based on whether or not they have allergies, whether or not your thyroid is doing something interesting, whether or not you had too much, or right, a temporary thing like too much sodium the day before, too much alcohol the day before, not enough sleep, you know, temporary allergies and those kinds of things that maybe an irritation in the eye. You slept wrong. I mean, there's right, like the air is dry, the air is too humid. There's a lot of things that can cause puffy eyes. And so I do also want to make it very clear that if you are experiencing chronic puffy eyes and eye irritation, that's something to see an ophthalmologist about, an endocrinologist about. You know, my mom had hyper and hypothyroidism. She got a double whammy. And her eyes started to bulge, which is different than puffy. They started to bulge because of fat deposits lodging themselves behind the eyes. So a lot of times when people get bags, it's also fat deposits. And the real way to get rid of those, once they get to a certain point, unfortunately, might only be surgery. And so I say that because we need to look at our skin and our body for cues about what's going on, and to pay attention to whether or not there are patterns and when we need to leave the standard non-medical beauty space and go see a medical person about what's happening. And I'm not a person who runs to the doctor for anything, really. It's hard to get me to go to the doctor, but I do have to say that. So when I wake up and I notice that my eyes are puffy, right? I'm like, and I have hooded eyes my whole life. So some of you are only dealing with hooded eyes now that you've passed what we'll call middle age. Which who can believe that after 40 you're middle age? Don't you feel like a child? If you're like, I'm turning 45 in 2 weeks and I feel like a child. Okay. So first things first, this morning my eyes were red. There's very dry here in the desert. And I didn't quite get enough sleep, I feel like, this week. So I start out with eye drops, and it's probably not going to show you this real well because I have to, I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Let me get out of the, can you see that? I don't know if you can. So these are called the Similazan computer eye relief drops. And these are holistic, comes in a glass jar like this. And I will just plop some of these in my eye just to kind of moisten them up, lubricate the eye area. Especially those of you who wear contact lenses and things, you know that what you don't want to be doing is rubbing gritty things around. Now, if when you wake up you have some grit here, it's going to be important to get rid of that. One thing I do, particularly in the summer, is I get two things. I have a compress cloth. I do this all year round. You've seen me do this in videos. These compress cloths I love from Elite Organics. I sent out in the newsletter the skincare set that included these that I love most, just to let you know what am I using, what's effective, what works. And then I use a little bit of a hydrosol, which is different than an alcohol-based toner. You do not want to spray anything alcohol-based near your eyes. Definitely don't spray anything in your eyes. So that's not meant to be sprayed in your eyes. So what I'm going to do is take, this really heavy, very hot water from the tea kettle, pour it into this bowl. I think you can see it steaming. And I'm going to dip the compress cloth directly in there and let it soak. So a lot of times people approach puffy eyes by immediately shocking the eye area with something cold. They want to take a jade roller with ice in it. They want to take a washa that's cold and stick it directly on their eyes. And I know that that can feel really good. But what I've been learning from one of the amazing experts who is coming in the first quarter of 2023 to speak about skin health, lymph drainage, and who is a certified expert in Ayurvedic health and wellness and nutrition, is a licensed esthetician, Alicia Reverby. Many of you know her. I'm so excited she's coming. One of the things I learned from her and other Chinese uh, medical practitioners is that when you shock the system with cold, you stagnate, you close up the flow of energy, the chi that can move through you. Now, I know that there's like a whole world out there that says, do that hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. But you notice it's not just go from average body temperature straight into cold. There is a rotating of the hot, cold, which increases that stimulation. And so I think a lot of people extrapolate it and they're like, I'm just going to put something cold right on myself because I feel warm. So let me look at the comments real quick here, because what I don't want to skip over is some important questions at this stage, but I don't want you to shock your eye area with cold and stagnate what actually needs to move, which are the fluids potentially that are trapped in the puffy eye area. So I see good mornings from some different Facebook users asking, are under eye circles related? I mean, under eye circles can be from a lot of things. And it's kind of the same thing with puffy eyes, right? Like it could be genetic, it could be this, it could be that, it could be something you ate. But I think that what I'm going to show you here can actually help the entire eye area. And Catherine's agreeing with the eye drops that I use. It is awesome. And someone is saying guilty with like a little, I assume that's about the hot, cold thing, or the just straight up cold. But yeah, we've been told like, just put a cold compress immediately on something. But think about what you're trying to do. You want to loosen up what's going on. You want to get rid of the crusties. I will say, after having done makeup for 25 years, people be like, I took all my makeup off last night and here I am fresh faced. And I have to remove makeup because they did not get all their makeup off, especially from the eye area. Some of you are doing terrible jobs getting your makeup off. And I get it, it's standard. And as a makeup artist, like, you have to be really precise about what you get off. But all that residue, that crunchy stuff, that little bit of makeup, that little bit of mascara, it can go in the eye and create problems. So if you're going to rub it around in there right if you get up, guess what? You're creating more problems and irritations potentially. So this is why I like to start with a compress cloth. Now, this has soaked up the water. And I'm going to, let's see if I can show you my lap here. Okay, there we go. So it's cooled off just a little bit more. And I'm soaking that there. You know what? I should have put my little fun bandana on. So I'm going to do that and lift you back up. How's everyone enjoying this so far? By the way, I love this bandana. It looks cute around the neck. And in the desert, you got to protect your neck all the time. And then I just stick it in my hair like so. Boop. Super easy. I'm going to get like a little foofy fan going here. Okay. And you could tie a little bow if you wanted to. But anyways, I'm just going to leave it like that and tuck the end so it's not in my way. Okay. Compress. So you can, a thick washcloth like this, any that you have. Ooh, and see, that's still really hot. So you don't want super hot. You don't want to put anything shocking on your delicate eye area. And shocking is both cold and hot. People think that they're just going to blast something and get more effects. Oh no, that is a recipe for really, really upsetting your skin. That's a recipe for broken capillaries. That's a recipe for, creating an imbalance. And your skin is literally it's a living, breathing organism, or organ, not organism, that's part of your body ecosystem. And when we remember that it's not just something to be blasted from the outside, then it changes the way that you approach your skincare and your beauty, that there are things happening on the inside that are really important to pay attention to. which is why, and I'm going to just say it again, the Healthy Beauty Oasis is so awesome. Because in there are resources, especially under this section called Reinvent Your Skincare, where I have brought in experts and I personally teach about skin stimulating facial massage techniques that are really important, especially at this age. But even if you could have started them earlier, that would have been amazing, but start them now. Kitchen ingredients that you can use. Because I hear people say, well, I live in another country or I'm on a smaller budget or whatever. First of all, the Oasis membership is super accessibly priced. And most people are spending way more than that on one moisturizer for the monthly fee. And the learning that you get is tremendous. Like even the mini course that's in there on menopausal skincare, life changing, mind blowing, because it's broken down in a way where it's scientifically backed, but it's not so confusing that it's hard for you to incorporate in your daily life. So I'm chatting through this because, first of all, I think the Oasis is amazing and there's nothing like it on the internet. I mean, I created it, but it's not an ego thing. Where else are you going to find information that is credible, that is 24/7 access to your fingertips without having to go around YouTube and wonder if somebody really has the credibility to be talking what they're talking about, which is why I bring experts in, because I know a lot about a lot. And I also know that it's really important to bring people in who have 20 years of experience in their craft. They can answer questions on a much deeper level than I can. And I happen to just know some of the best people in the world, and I've got them coming in 2023 for you, plus other people who already came. Okay. So, hi, Facebook user. If you haven't given permission for your name to be used, then I can't see who you are. So sign your name because I want to say hi to you and good morning to you. Matiana, have you tried maize towels? Not yet. I have to bug her about that. She's talking about May Lindstrom. And somebody's asking if I can send the link to the towels. Yes. I'm just going to write. Somebody else can go find the link. That's the name of the brand. Okay. So now that I've sort of warmed up that eye area, it feels so much better. It feels loosier and goosier. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I could do this all day. And normally I would do my whole face, but I'm just trying to not be a weird towel person while I talk to you. And I would do my eyes at the same time, more efficient. Okay. So now I am going to you could take water. You could take the same water that you used, which is fine. You could also take just any hydrosol that's non-alcohol based. So we're talking about a floral essence. And I'm going to do just a regular one here. This is also from Malik. It's a room temperature right now. And you'll see I'm using a fair amount. I'm getting very moist. And I did my whole face because why not? Okay, and then you're going to pick an oil. Now, this is, again, people get really tripped up, and I talk a lot about this in the Oasis. I have a curated products list of things that are my go-to brands, my go-to favorites, and I keep it tight for a reason. But that doesn't mean that you can't use something else you love, that you're as accessible in your city, state, country, because there's tools in the Oasis to empower you to make a better decision about what you're buying. I don't think that in the giant world of all the skincare that's out there, that I could even possibly begin to try everything and narrow it down to 2 products. So you're going to have to learn what works for you. And I always encourage people to get samples and trial sizes. And hopefully by coming into the private group, by asking me, by coming to the soirees, by taking in the information, you then are empowered, whether you're part of the Oasis or not afterwards, for years to come, to choose what works best for you. Okay. So the 2 oils that I have here, one's a little bit lighter one. It's the Marola oil from Lux Botanics. And then the Violets Are Blue Ultraviolet Facial Serum. So you can see I just started using the one from Violets Are Blue. I'm really enjoying that line. And if you've seen my videos recently, you know I'm a fan of the Lux. And also the Healthy Beauty Oasis members, I have not revealed to you something very cool that I'm doing soon with this brand, that you're going to really like. So I'm not ready to announce it yet, but I'm teasing you all here because it's happening soon. I just got off a call a couple nights ago with one of the co-founders, and we have something fabulous for all of you who are in the Oasis. Okay. All right. So now, as you can see, I got a little bit of oil, and I'm going to start tapping. Now, here's the thing about using oil and the tapping. And you can see I'm going very light. I'm not, you know, your eye area is fragile. You know, anyone watch Christmas Story over the holidays? Fragile. It's Italian. Anyone here speak Italian, by the way? I do. I lived in Milan for 2 years and then doing makeup. And that's also where I learned how to do hairstyling on set. And it's where I learned about fashion and construction of clothing in a whole different way. I was a beach girl from California. And man, I really got immersed into that world. And before that, I had worked in cosmetics product development for Merle Norman Cosmetics. Does anybody remember Merle Norman? They're still around. I went into one the other day. It was wild. Okay, so you can see I am stimulating the skin in circles, in taps, all around the eye area, all on the lid, like that. Now, if I come across like a little sleepy thing here, which I don't have because I already removed it, because I want to, pajama party, but I also didn't want to come on camera with like crusties in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? But this would be the time that you grab your washcloth and then you just gently remove. And actually, look, there was oh, you can't see. There was the tiniest bit of makeup in there. Huh, look at that. After I lectured everybody, that one wasn't as bad. For not getting their makeup off correctly at night. It can be hard. I know that. That's why when you use these oils, and you don't want to use too much. You don't want to clog your little oil glands and stuff. And this might even be too much for some people, this pulling that I'm doing right here. That's why you got to be careful with those jade rollers and the hua sha. You got to do it very delicately around the eye if you're going to do the hua sha. And we're going to bring in an expert in 2023 in the Oasis. I have been really looking for someone who is of Chinese descent to teach it, since this is Chinese medicine. So if you got any recommendations, let me know. The person that I was chasing, I have not been able to secure. It's tricky to get the folks who are world renowned in what they're doing, which is why I'm so excited about this lineup of speakers I have coming for the first quarter, because I've been chasing them for 2 years. Okay. Matiana's saying yes, she remembers you from Merle Norman. All right. So do you see how it's not just that I'm addressing the eyes and the puffy parts? I'm addressing now around the eyes, get everything moving. Pinch the eyebrow area. Come in here and do a figure 8. You see that figure 8? And again, you don't want to go super, super hard. That's not the goal. And if you lose slip, like you're not using enough oil and you start to feel that rough texture of pushback where your fingers are no longer just gliding across the surface, dip your fingers in a little bowl of water and then put some more hydrosol on. You don't need more oil. And so now it's creating actually a little bit of a tackiness that I put the water back on over it. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to use that tackiness to do the tapping. All kinds of different stimulation. The reason is because it got tacky when I did that. Now I don't want to pull because it's going to be too rough on the eye area. And you can feel when things start to slip. So wherever you are right now, if you've got a little bit of water, a little bit of moisturizer, an oil ideally, you can do this. So now it's starting to feel really good. You're going to notice there's a point with which it feels good. And I know that this has been a society where we have been taught that we need to have instant results. And there's definitely a place for those little depuffers, that you put under your eye and whatnot. But again, I need to say there's a reason to do it the slow way. The reason to do it the slow way is if you're doing this to help your puffiness, and then you start doing the facial massage, like we're having Alicia come in and teach. She's a certified lymphatic drainage master. Like, she went to a school to learn it with the top Dr. Votter who teaches it. She practices it on people. She knows this inside and out, which is why I don't want to talk to you about it, because she studied the inside of the body to understand how it flows to the outside of the body. But lymphatic drainage is so important for your health, particularly if you've ever heard the conversation around cancer and how important it is that we stimulate and help detoxify our lymph system, and it doesn't pump itself. So you have to do it. And guess what? You can do it and have incredible skin simultaneously. Like, it's a win-win. You can support your body's entire immune and health system, and it helps your skin glow. And that's why I want you to join before the doors close this weekend into the Healthy Beauty Oasis membership, so you can learn this directly from Alicia, who's also going to mix in her Ayurvedic nutrition knowledge and her 25, 30 years of skincare aesthetic experience, her formulation experience, like all the things. Okay. Oh, Ingrid, hello. She's on YouTube. She can see the difference already. You can. That's so cool, because I was like sitting here going, can anyone see what's happening? And now look at all this stuff. People are like, oh, I have to buy a highlighter. I have to buy like light reflecting moisturizers. Look at the light, the glow that is coming off my face. If you're looking at your skin and it looks like it's got fine lines or papery or crepey, just doing this is also going to help that. So what I don't want you to do is immediately try to attack the problem with something cold. I want you to stimulate your skin. I want you to add in that beautiful, loving touch, because when we attack things, and I talk about this a lot in the Healthy Beauty Oasis, it's not just an outer conversation. We got to think about what we're saying to ourselves on the inside, because if what you're saying to yourself is a running monologue of toxic crap that's hateful, I don't care what beauty product you're using or how non-toxic it is or how clean beauty it is. What's going on in your mind is a big old trash bin of crap. It's not going to feel beautiful. You're not going to walk in the world looking beautiful, because you won't be exuding that energy. And we know that beauty is energy. We know it's not about looking perfect. There's nothing perfect on my face. And I have not come across in my 25 plus years of working in the beauty business someone who I would look at and go, wow, they're perfect. I mean, from a cosmic standpoint, wow, we're all perfect. But I mean, there's just no such thing, or I wouldn't have had a job. I did makeup on people's knees and toes for the runway shows. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody looks like that without a team of people. So we got to take, this idea that we're supposed to wake up in the morning and be like flawless. Nobody looks like that. I've seen everybody without makeup on in the morning in their bathrobes looking like how people look. We've got to be kinder to ourselves. And so I think when you have the kind touch and you say something nice to yourself, an appreciation, it doesn't have to be about your physical beauty, but it could be. I love my eyes. Thank you so much, eyes, for all that you see and all the vision and all the ways in which you help me take in life and the colors and the beautiful moments that I get to witness and how I get to look at people. And when you open your eyes, look at yourself with that same level of love. You know what I'm saying? All right. Matiana's going to try this technique today. Thank you. Please report back in the comments of the replay. Cynthia is saying, I need this Puff City over here. Puff City. Well, do we all wear puffer jackets in Puff City? I mean, look, sometimes puffy things are cute. Marshmallows, puffy jackets, penguins, porcupines. What else is puffy? Cotton candy, pillows, plushies. Okay. Now that said, I need a little more coffee. P.S. Can we talk about my mug? Isn't she pretty? I mean, I realize for some of you that's like extra erotic, but I'm sorry. I'm into it. I like the women's body, beautiful fairy energy. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. I got this at the Renaissance Fair last year. Fluffy things also include kittens. Yes, it does. Kittens, which are the devil. If you've ever had a kitten, they get into everything. And they're noisy. All right. So this is a hydrosol. It's an invigorating peppermint toner. I kept it in my refrigerator for the summer. I would spray it on myself. Oh, peppermint is already cooling. We know that from Ayurvedic medicine, or I do. Some of you might. This is the Kalan Harwell. Sorry, the camera is reversed from where my hand position is. And so it's like when you're looking in a mirror and you're like, why can't I get this thing to do what I want? And someone is saying, got to start being nicer to my facial skin, slow down, take the time. Yes. And we really talk about that a lot in the Oasis, and we give you the tools in which to do it that are even on a bigger scale than this. Okay. And then a little bit of the peppermint. So this has been sitting outside of the refrigerator for half an hour, 40 minutes now. Well, maybe longer than that. So it's cool to the touch, but it's not cold. Oh, and that feels nice. And you know what? Sometimes I do too. Since it's not freezing cold, then I put it right on. So we did all that stimulation, and now we can shrink it just a little bit because things are moving where they're supposed to be moving. Where we've got everything flowing. We're not just stagnating it in one place. Oh, that feels nice. Now, hopefully your bottle's clean. You don't want to put a dirty bottle on your face, but I'm obnoxiously clean about most things. So the other thing you could do is you could take some cool water and use little reusable cotton pads such as these. I got these off Etsy 1,000 million years ago. Alicia also sells compressed cloths and organic reusable doodly bobbers, whatever these are called. And you could just hold them on your eyes. Now, there's so many recipes out there for different things that help with puffiness, right? Make some chamomile tea, let it cool off completely, and then soak and use them as compresses. You could also take a little bit of coffee and soak directly in there. Always let it cool off, a little cooler, soak there. And you've heard the cucumbers things, but you really have to let them soak for a little while. It's not an instant result. And that's why I want to talk to you also about the what not to do in terms of instant results. So there was this video that went super viral on TikTok. And when I saw it, I went, can that be real? And it's a cream from Peter Thomas Roth, I believe. And you watch this woman's bags and it just sucks them up. And it's like, and I thought that can't be real, but people started doing it. They realized that this product does that. And so I started looking into it. And luckily, one of the dermatologists who I follow and communicate with a lot, Dr. Whitney Bowe, she did a video about this because it was such a popular, well, what about this cream that sucks everything up like a Preparation H or whatnot? If you really are struggling, you're going to something super duper important, okay, use an instant result type of product. But if you start doing that on a day-to-day basis, you're going to piss off your skin. The ingredients in those things are not meant for daily use. So, keep that in perspective. If it's fast, most likely in the long term with repeated usage, it will cause damage. I saw this on models, young models from everywhere across the world started to get hypersensitive skin. And as makeup artists, we were all using the same skincare, the same makeup on them for the most part, like this, a very small umbrella of brands and colors and things. And they started to get hypersensitivities at the age of 20. That is part of what started me in the green beauty journey. Part of it was May Lindstrom, the maker of Blue Cocoon, which I love, and all her products. She was a model. I was a makeup artist. We met, and I was watching her cover her body in olive oil in Italy, and I was like, what are you doing? And simultaneous to that, I was watching these models' skin get hypersensitive. Simultaneous to that, I was coming off a 10-year journey of acne. I had been on Accutane, minocycline, doxycycline, tetranonine cream. I can't say the words. My mouth doesn't form them. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I went the traditional routes. I went the non-traditional routes. I tried this, I tried that. And I will tell you that green beauty and paying true attention to ingredients, not this clean beauty umbrella that is weird now, and the food I ate and how I cared for my skin and stopped throwing it out of balance made the biggest difference. And that is what I teach. And I teach it specifically for people over 40 because I always had clients who were over 40. At 19 years old, I developed makeup techniques that I ended up coining my age-defying makeup techniques that helped people reverse on their face some of that sunken hollowness, the drooping, and pay attention to how are we applying things to create a more uplifting effect. And it all starts with great skincare. I know that. So that's why we focus on that. And then we need to talk about our hair, our style, all these things. And what's the conversation going on inside of us? How can we reduce also the consumerism that is plaguing this planet? So, it's a really robust program I put together because I kind of had to in 2020. I had to because I couldn't touch people anymore. And luckily, I'd started already doing online courses in 2017 and virtual consults where I had to teach people how to use Skype. Thank God people know how to use Zoom now. It makes my life easier, but I've always had a global clientele of virtual people. And I know how to do training, education for pros, for consumers. I have had thousands of students. I've had hundreds in person. So that's why I know I can help you through a program like this. And you get to talk to me. You get access to me. And it's very reasonable and it will save you all the money that you invested and back. Have you not seen the testimonials I've been posting? Anyhow. Okay. So I see Catherine saying, cool bottle feels great when allergies flare up. Yes. Yeah. So there is a point with which the cool feels so good. But we got to get everything moving before you do cool, not cold. Let's not shock our system. Have we not all been shocked enough throughout the few years that we have been doing this whole random crap of 2020 to 2022, now 2023? And that's why I like that I've created such a supportive, uplifting space for folks. And I really would hope that you will join us. It's a low commitment if you join month to month, and you get a lot. If you're an annual member, you get a special bonus class. In fact, I would like to show you something. And also, I want to see in the comments, does anyone want to see how I make my coffee? Because it's like a little meal in a cup and it has some skin benefits that are really important. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see the Kristen's Cafe. So I want to show you. I'm going to do a little presentation. Hopefully it works. Matiana says yes to coffee. Okay, I see that. I'm going to do present mode. Okay. Well, I don't know what slide I'm on. I'm on slide 5. You see, sometimes now I'm supposed to record a loom. Hold on. We're going to just go back up because apparently I can't work these things on my own. Where's my AV assistant? All right. Can you all see? Okay. Nancy is saying, please show us Kristen's Cafe. Pam is saying yes. Coffee recipe. Rebecca is saying yes. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do it. I'll do this part very quickly. I just want to show you what's coming in the first quarter-ish of the Healthy Beauty Oasis. We have Chad Keast for holistic hair care. And he is the guy who studied under the founder of Aveda for many, many, many years. He has practices. See, I call them practices. He has his hair salons in 2 states. He is constantly going back and forth. I could not get a hold of Chad until this year. And we're going to talk about all the things you need to know about hair over 40, hair loss, texture change, scalp health, coloring, stress, what is happening with your hair. There's so many things, and he is a master. And guess what? It's very, very rare to find a hairstylist that understands hair health and the ingredients, the natural, the organic, the importance of that, who's studied under the pioneer of green beauty and hair care. And unfortunately, that man, Horst Rechelbacher, it's quite a name. He passed away a few years back. Just as I was getting to meet him, I got to work on his last ever hair campaign as his makeup artist. We had all these models come through in his penthouse, and he gave me weird things to eat and, watched my face as I tried them. And I learned so much in a very brief period of time. I was touched by Grace, this golden person. Chad studied with him for years and years and years and years and years. So I just want you to be able to get in and pick Chad's brain. You're going to be able, as an Oasis member, to ask questions that we'll submit to Chad. And he's just excited. He's part of the community. You might have seen him in there if you're already a member. He answered, because I pinged him one day and I'm like, please answer this question for this member. I don't want to tell her the wrong thing. But we were kind of on the same page. Okay, next, let's talk about the most recent in-depth cosmetic safety stuff. And I say stuff because it's like, I get my research from different places, but man, digging into those medical journals is hard for me. I get real sleepy. This is a person, Stephanie Greenwood, who loves digging into medical journals and looking at ingredient safety. She understands formulation. She understands skincare. She understands all kinds of things and is going to break it down for you in a way that you can ask her your questions. She's going to tell you what's up for the latest things, because honestly, the clean beauty space has gotten real murky. This is an OG in green beauty. She really, really cares about safety, and I trust her very much. So she's going to be speaking. Then we've got Alicia Reverby, who I've already told you a lot about in this live cast. So I'm going to just skip right over because fabulous is what we're doing. And then a friend of mine named Nikki Savara, she has her master's in spiritual psychology. She's a licensed spiritual practitioner. She's an author of this incredible book that I bugged her for years to write, if nothing else, just for me. And so we're going to be talking with her about body and beauty integration. She has a really delightful, unique approach to inner and outer beauty, and from the perspective of appreciation that I have not seen anyone else do, which is why I was like, you got to write this book. So here we go. I feel like I should take my little schmuppy out now. One thing I wanted to say is that if you have oils on your skin after you do this sort of a treatment to your face, you want to get those oils off. I feel like a surfer right now with this hair. I got to get it cut. But you want to get them off just a little from your eyelid area before you go put makeup on, because your makeup's not going to last. Okay. Ingrid saying, wow, interesting. Can't wait. Yes. Thank you for being an Oasis member. I'm so excited. And yes, someone is saying I stay away from chamomile because I have hay fever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this is why the internet is filled with great ideas, except unless they don't work for you. So there's other things you can use, a peppermint, like I just showed, or even a black tea or coffee, like I talked about before. And Leanne is very excited for the upcoming soiree. It's wonderful. So I'm going to put a link here because I got to do this for you to sign up. Where am I? To sign up either for monthly or annual. And I have an announcement about the annual. Am I going to make it here right now? Yeah, I think I can. Let's put it this way. There's an extra gift that is not advertised right now that is coming for annual members. But I had to work some things out and it worked out. And I just I never say anything. I never promise you something I'm not going to deliver on. So I'd rather under promise and then surprise you later. So if you're an annual member or you're becoming an annual member, there is something I'm going to share with you very soon that I think you will love. Okay, fabulous. Coffee. So I've got to get a haircut and color. And I am very particular about my hair, even if you can't tell that right now. And we talk about this in the Oasis, which is one of the reasons I wanted to talk about more than just product, like what shampoo to use, but actual hair care and scalp health. And how to talk to your hairstylist. We did a class on this. And then we've talked even more about it in the Oasis, how to talk to people that you're getting services from so you can get the results that are right for you. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay. So let's see if I'm going to pull you down just a little bit. Okay, wait. My friend here in Tucson is so funny. And she's like, Kristen, how do you shop at Costco? You're one person and you're skinny. There's no way you shop at Costco. I'm like, let me tell you, I am a Costco for Life member. And the reason is that it went from being more like a food service cash and carry type place to, having sizes that were more suitable for a more family or consumer size, and then multiple packages of those so that you can open one at a time versus one giant vat of mayonnaise you're never going to go through. So for instance, I get a 2-pack of ghee while I'm there. I get the oat milk that's organic. I get the maple syrup. And then sometimes they have this bourbon maple syrup in glass. And I got that last time, but I'm going through this maple syrup first. I go and I get the organic coconut milk. I get the Laird's Superfood Creamer. And that's everything on this tray other than are you ready for it? Because this is going to horrify some of you. Instant coffee is from Costco. Costco has some rad stuff, I'm just saying, and all the things. So the reason I use instant coffee is because I don't want to have another appliance on my kitchen counter. My kitchen is small. I am just one person. I have found that this coffee, and there's another one, Mount Hagen. These are really great quality. I mean, I really like them, and I've served them to people who are, I wouldn't call like super coffee snob. Like there's a 10 coffee snob, and no, I'm not. But people who enjoy coffee enjoy this. And there was a friend of a friend in town the other weekend, and she lived in Sweden for many years, also a makeup artist. I was very excited to meet her. And I was like, look, you're a coffee person, so I can either make you straight up pour over black, how you like it, or I can make you this little delicious, nourishing thing. And she was like, well, let me just maybe try that. And I told her what was in it. And she's like, are the flavors overwhelming? And I said, no, they're not. And she loved it. And my mom, when she was visiting here, couldn't get enough of it. So you kind of need to know it's a meal in a cup because it's got a lot of healthy fat in it. So let's start with that. Because what I find a lot of times is that coffee directly on an empty stomach, it's too acidic. It can mess with your cortisol levels. You got to be careful in the morning just downing straight up coffee. So I find that what I like to have is this yummy cup of, well, it's now almost gone because I was drinking it. So I start out with 1 teaspoon of the instant coffee. You could do your pour over, you could do your whatever, but basically I fill the cup about 2/3 of the coffee and water, or whatever however you're doing it. If it's drip coffee, then 2/3 of coffee. I add in 2 teaspoons of the superfood creamer. It has the tiniest bit of sweetness in it, but I don't like overly sweet things. I think that whole US thing of just everything's a sugar bomb and it's a frappa-lappa, hypad-laka ding-dong from Starbucks. It's too much sugar. Sugar is really bad for your skin. It's really bad for your body health. It promotes inflammation in your cellular structure of your skin, and therefore also inflammation on your puffy eyes. So, puffy, wrinkles, all the things related to inflammation and other diseases in the body. So please don't over sugar up your junk in your life because it's too much, bad for your skin, if nothing else, bad for your health. So this has a little tiny bit of sugar, 1 gram. And it's coconut milk powder, organic coconut sugar with marine algae and virgin coconut oil. Fabulous. So I put in 2 teaspoons of that, even though they recommend like up to 3, I don't know, or tablespoon, something. I put in a teaspoon of this. I put in quite a bit of this. So you can make this drink totally vegan if you want, dairy-free. I don't do it fully dairy-free, but I put in more of the oat milk, and then I add in like a little glub. You know what I'm talking about? Of half and half. So there's a glub of half and half, which I didn't bring out here because I knew it'd be sitting out for a while, and I didn't want it to go weird. And then I have a can of coconut milk, and I use that thick, because it's the fatty kind. It's unsweetened. I use like a thick, very heaping teaspoon of it, plop that in there. And then I use a scant amount. We're talking barely a 1/4 teaspoon of ghee and probably about a 1/2 teaspoon of maple syrup. Why this over other sugar? I have read, again, not a doctor, but that maple syrup is a great sweetener to use that is a little less aggressive as a sweetener. And I don't like things up here on the sweet scale anyways. I've pulled my body off of that addictive sugar need. And I mix it all together, and it creates, you'll see the oil floating on top if you use the ghee in particular, but also if you use the coconut. It gives you all of this wonderful, healthy fat. And so many people have been afraid of fat in their skincare, in their diet, but it's actually really good for your skin. It's really good for lubricating joints. And the reason there's a difference between healthy fat and unhealthy fat is if you go out and you have fried mozzarella sticks, that's not healthy fat. I'm sorry, you can't justify it. Now, a lot of people will say that dairy causes inflammation in the body, and I totally understand that. I like the flavor of half and half for like the glub glub. The ghee is lactose free, so and then there's other reasons for folks to avoid dairy, which is why this is a very easy drink to make totally vegan with your nut milk and your coconut milk. Just add like a little bit more of the thick coconut part. You know what I'm talking about, where it's like, well, this one is on its last legs, but see, the creamy part is what I'm talking about. And then you have the more liquidy part at the bottom. I'm trying not to, I don't want to spill on my computer. That would be a real bummer. So yeah, and then I use a cat food can cover to keep it fresh in the fridge. All right, we'll just do that later. All right, let's see. Ingrid's using stevia in her coffee. Fabulous. I know Ingrid's like, Costco. I don't like this flavor of stevia. It really bugs me. And I noticed in a non-purposeful experiment on a trip that I had to Florida many years back, that I was getting a headache every morning because I was doing this powdered protein shake, because when you're traveling, you got to try to stay healthy. So I was taking these little protein shake packets, and it was flavored with stevia. And I remember being like, oh, I don't like the flavor, but I need to drink this because it's good for me. And I brought them, and every day I had a headache. So stevia gives me a headache. I don't like it. Oh, and Matiana is saying that she loves that I'm pronouncing her full name correctly. Well, I try. I really do try to make the oasis and everything that I do honoring of people. And so if I ever pronounce your name wrong, please let me know because ain't nobody perfect. And I really welcome feedback. This is not a place where I sit on top of a pedestal and I'm like, I'm so fabulous and all of you suck. I'm learning, I've had people say, well, you're in your early 40s. So this membership isn't right for me because I'm in my 60s. And what do you know? I've been in the beauty business my entire career is what I know. It's not about my age. It's about what I've seen, what I've done, who I've worked with, who I've talked to, the world-renowned wellness experts, skin experts, hair experts that I have picked their brains over 2 decades and learned and touched skin of people and touched hair of people. And I used a hairstyle because I had to, because I started my makeup career in Milan in 2008, smack in the middle of a recession. I had to learn some skills. I had people who wanted me to style for shoots, do the clothing. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? I have no idea. So now what's super interesting is that I am bringing back my one-on-one consultations. I'm not going to talk about that much here, but because they're more robust than ever. I'm not just doing makeup lessons now. I'm really incorporating personal and professional brand image consulting, and it's been going really well. And I can't wait to talk about that another time. But I do want to show you. Oh, Yvonne is saying I'm a tea drinker. Oh yeah, I am a tea drinker also. Like I got to go to London so I was the national trainer for Italy during the launch of Burberry's cosmetic line. So they sent me to London for 3 days to immerse myself in the Burberry luxury experience and to learn all about this cosmetic line so that then I could go teach it in English and Italian to the rest of the people who'd be working in those luxury retail shops. And the first thing I did when I dropped into London was take myself to high tea. Like I love tea. And I didn't drink coffee for a really long time. And then I found it drinking it this way, and because it was making me jittery. And I found it drinking this way, and it was like, oh, people kept talking to me about bulletproof coffee and all this kind of stuff. But when I had an integrative physician explain to me why you need the fat then it all clicked in, and then I love drinking it. Okay, sorry. I'm taking my socks off underneath the table because now I'm like having my own version of a hot flash. Oh my God. And we do talk about menopausal skincare and things like that, which is really interesting. And our guests have just been freaking fantastic. I'm trying not to swear. Okay, I want to share with you one more thing. Let's see if I can do this correctly now. Okay. So I know I've shown some of you the inside of the Healthy Beauty Oasis before, but I got to tell you, first of all, we have an incredible membership. A lot of the founding original members signed on when there was nothing but this welcome page in here. There was not one video. There was nothing. And now I want you to see how much is in here. I had to create submenus for submenus for submenus, and that's not to overwhelm you. That is to give you a beautiful overview of all the different resources you have at your fingertips. Just like this section, Detox Your Beauty Bag, you get the toolkit, you get a video, you get action steps, you get a whole thing about palm oil and how to recognize whether or not it's in something, another video about how to choose whether something's green beauty or not. Talking about brands that sell out, the new chemical that, or set of chemicals that everyone's talking about, PFAS in green beauty, and where to find those resources, my opinion on that, what that means. I mean, that's one area that if you wanted to dig into cosmetic safety, which we're going to even more with Stephanie Greenwood, you have incredible resource at your fingertips. And then all of these other areas here, reclaim. So reinvent your skincare. All these sections, all of these are under reinvent your skincare. And there's how to make a mask, how to, a video on that. Then another skincare class that we did that was only for the annual members, because I treat the annual members with little extra bonuses. This was awesome. We have a member who has said, and I've posted her testimonial, she's like, this expert helped me crack a long-term skin and health issue that she hadn't been able to crack for years. And just this one class changed her life. I mean, it's like really, really incredible. So the resources that are in here are tremendous. Also the mini course, the menopausal skin health I've been talking about. Look, it's broken up into all these different parts to make it easy for you to understand. And it's important information. I mean, there's so much in here. Then we get into all these different categories. How to deal with sun protection and spot prevention on your face, finding your face shape, how to choose foundation. Like there's so many good things. And then there's bonus videos and a brand savings guide and my curated product list. And my goodness, even if you only accessed 2 of these things a month, that's it. It would be 1,000% worth your membership, especially based on the testimonials I have. And you could go to the sitemap and see more easily all the different things that are in here. So I just want you to get a sense of it, because it's not about overwhelming you with things. It's literally, what are you dealing with? What do you need most to address? And there is something, oh my gosh, the hair is going to get filled out in terms of, well, it's a little play on words, with Chad coming in and cultivating authentic style. Oh, that was such a good series. People loved that series. So we've got the implementation that nobody else but the folks in the Oasis got. I did not do this publicly, but it's a fantastic series of how to do like a little, I don't want to call something a boot camp because that makes it sound painful, but like a little beauty boot camp. Easy and actionable and doable and really valuable. And there's one other thing. Oh, I didn't have this prepared. How will I show you this? So I've been working on trying to get this other thing done for years. Catherine's saying fat is important for nerve conduction. Thank you for adding some science into that. Wonderful. I'm going to add the link in here to the Healthy Beauty Oasis again. Shoot, I wanted to pull up and I didn't. So give me a moment because I want to show you this thing that is almost ready that I have been working on for a really long time. I've created a portal, and that portal is now going to give you complete access to the membership and all the other courses that are included in the membership if you're an annual member. Let me see here if it's going to let me do it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Because I'm proud of this. I got to say, I've been working on it hard. The reason it's not ready right now is because I am a stickler for things being as well done as possible. And if it's, hold on, is that the login? Okay, login. It's asking me which one, that. And I need to make sure that every single one of these is functioning correctly. And I'm going to ask a couple of our longtime members to test it out before I just blurt it out to everybody and give myself a customer service nightmare if like one thing wasn't working correctly. But basically, this portal is now going to be where people log into. And that way you have one place to access the Healthy Beauty Oasis. And then if you are an annual member, founding member, or you've purchased a standalone class at any point. So that's been the other thing, is making sure that the people who've purchased their classes can access them in this portal too. That now you can click into any of the ones that you have access to, which is really, really, really cool. And like I said, with the annual membership, you get all of these up here, this row, and all of this for a very low annual price. And then these are separate. Oh, and you get this class too. And then these two are separate because they're a little bit different genre. But if you already purchased them, now you have one place. I'm so excited that you can access all of it. So I'm going to stop sharing there and we're going to wrap because we're at 1 hour. Yes. So the first view I showed you is what's inside of the Healthy Beauty Oasis membership all by itself. It's like 25 courses just in there, basically. I mean, courses, all of that is just included in the monthly membership the moment you sign up. You have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week access to it, 2 years of information in there. If you sign up for the annual membership, not only are you going to get a bonus class this year, like the customized skincare blends that we did this past year, you're going to get another special gift that I have not announced yet. And you get all those courses that you saw in the portal, except for impactful imagery and show up from the shoulders up. But all the other courses you get access to. So it's freaking valuable. That's all I'm saying. And you get to come to the monthly live soirees. You get to be part of the Facebook group for Healthy Beauty Oasis if you want to. And that community is lovely and vibrant. And we are chatty and we're delightful and we help each other. And there is no drama in there because I don't allow it. And Nancy's saying Kristen's courses are excellent. Thank you so much. And Catherine's saying looks very user-friendly, can hardly wait. And I'm even going to work harder on making it user-friendly. I'm introducing Beauty Minutes or Beauty Minute. That's what we voted on in the big group. Will it be exactly 60 seconds? I don't know. But the point is that what I'm going to do is take some of that longer form content that's in there and chunk it up in like a course of information that you can just do little beauty minutes, a beauty bite, and just grab onto something, have a little beauty snack and go, okay, here's one thing I can do better with my skincare. And it's a short video, gives you an actionable tip, go do it. And that way you start to see that you don't need to sit in front of your computer for a really long time, ingest tons of information. You can start just doing certain things, time-tested, proven, expert, pro, credible, trustworthy guidance for where you're at in your life now. And that is the point of those, is to give you something to sort of stack and build a better beauty repository for yourself, better beauty habits that are sustainable, because it's not just, whatever in whatever order and from whichever influencer online who's just trying to push product. That's why I have a place where you pay for education, because I'm not interested in trying to make my money by being like, buy this, buy this. Oh my God, this is the newest moisturizer. If you notice, I hardly talk about product. When I talk about it, it's because there's something exceptional, or I have created a collaboration that I feel is really of value and integrity. I will not collaborate. And I get at least 2 emails a day, asking me to promote brands. And I just don't do it. So what you're getting is you're getting the resources, the knowledge, the access to me in order to make better decisions now, in the future, and to do it in a way that honors who you are, what you want, instead of filling up the landfill and draining your wallet, frankly, on stuff that may not be right for you. And that's not to say that like every recommendation is going to be perfect and you're going to love everything, but man, you're going to be a lot closer to it, and you're going to have better skills on how to use it than just tossing your money down the drain because maybe you got something that was right for that person, wasn't right for you, or you didn't know how to use it correctly, and that's what I would love for you to join in on. So the doors to the Oasis are closing this weekend for new members for a while. And I don't have another date of when they're opening, because I really just wanted to close the container, not do promotions, and focus on this new 2023 with all these speakers coming in. It's a lot to coordinate, and these Beauty Minute videos are a lot of work. So I've got to focus on delivering amazing content. And the more people who are involved, the more people who join up, the bigger the pool of resources I have to put more goodness in there for you, because I reinvest back into the community. If you've been with me for 2 years, it started from nothing, and now it's absolutely worth gold. I mean, and there may come a point where I change the membership such that new people aren't going to sign up and then get access to everything at once, because that's just, it is a lot. So it expires tomorrow night. So Sunday night, Pacific time, midnight. Yeah. And like I said, join for a month, 2 month, 3 month. I had somebody email me and say, hey, I know I want to just join for 3 months. Can you set it up that it automatically cancels at the end of 3 months? And I was like, I can do that for you. So, I'm not trying to lock anybody in. It's not closing the doors so that you have to stay in and you're in forever. It's just to create a focused container where I get to love on you, and I get to really pay attention to you in a whole different way, and create some super incredible stuff and bring in people who I don't know how else you would know about them and get this kind of amazing information and insight unless you were in the Oasis, unless you specifically sought them out. And I promise you, there's not anything like this online that I have ever seen. Even offline, there's not. So there's my pitch. If you got questions, leave them. If you're watching the replay, you can leave the questions here. I will monitor it. It's now past the half an hour. We're just a little over an hour on this thing. I'm going to go make myself some more coffee or tea or something. And I hope you will enjoy the rest of your day. I'll probably put something other than sweats on now. And thanks for joining me. Makeup free. That's how we do. We roll real. Life is real. Me and my little hair that needs a haircut. Okay. So wherever you are, I hope that no matter what you do, if you join the Oasis or not, I hope that this information was helpful to you. That's always my goal, is to make sure that you walk away from every interaction feeling empowered, feeling like you have something to put in your pocket that makes a beautiful difference in your day, your week, your month, your year. And I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you for spending your morning with me. Really, really. And thank you for the hearts and the gratitude that I see coming into the comments. So I'm going to end us here. See you on the flip side.